It's been a long road, Scotty, huh?
Well,
I mean,
you might know. Hold on. So what's the allegations? So now that I got you here, FM,
okay.
because you probably know, did because I felt like I was being set up in a way that they were like double crossing me, like because I was getting like private communications and I was like staying out of it. Um, but it looked like I don't know. There was like different levels of fuckery going on, so I was aware of that. So I was like trying to stay away. But anyways, it looks like OV and Yaxley were trying to set up to Domingo, and then Yaxley
Wow.
made up with Domingo,
Yeah, you actually
and
made
then
up with Domingo for Tiffany to go, I guess, expose Tiffany. Yeah.
right. That's from like, and I was like on the outside looking in, and like I felt like I was trying to get pulled back into it, and I was like,
Now, Ov and Domingo never got along. We know that. There was never any
no,
love
no,
lost.
right. Regardless of that, though, there was the whole allegations with minor. I don't know. I don't want to bring it up because like there's nothing conclusive, but a lot of muddiness though for sure. So I was, I would, and I was. That's why I was like, I'm fucking out of here. Like this is not what I signed up for. And then, but now I got him curious. What the fuck happened? Or just how much double crossing and like fuckery was going on. And I felt like I was being kind of potentially the not to like left to hold the bag, but like used to be uh, ammunition in the shit show, or like I don't know. I'm just a useful idiot, but I was like I'm not gonna be that useful. I'm just an idiot. And I don't want to be too useful, but so I had to distance myself from all that. But honestly, so the only reason I'm bringing it up is because it got a little it got a little wishy washy, and there was some he say she say, and not that I believe any of that. I just wanted to know where I'd like to hear it out of the horse's mouth or whatever.
Yeah, Scotty, I really don't know much on that situation there, man. Mm-mm.
Well, you were just around, so I was like, maybe you knew, like, or maybe you know, and you're pretending you don't know. It's fine.
Yeah, all I know is the Domingo thing. I know what happened there. You know, um, it all comes back to Tiffany.
I love Tiffany, but I did warn Yaxley, and I think, warn Domingo that that river runs deep, and you probably should wear some swimmies or something. What he said was Tamara Wolf wanted him to investigate her. So he was, had his dick in his hand. He was like, "Oh yes, I'll investigate the fuck out of this." But apparently, he didn't do his math enough, uh, and apparently, like I said, I could tell that she was playing him, and I tried to explain this to him, but he yaks the axe. He had it all. He had it all in the bag until Ghost found the illegal streams of Renee. Not the illegal streams, but the what do you call it? Unpublic, or what was it called? Help me out here.
Unlisted.
Unlisted. Thank you. The unlisted streams of Renee. Ghost found, and then I even told Ghost, I was like, dude, do not fucking do this. Like a bunch of us, but he could not be helped. He was like, I got this shit. You
Yeah,
know, he
Ghost
hated
was
Renee.
pissed
He
off.
hated the
He was
fuck
bitter.
out of Renee.
Yeah.
And like, there was no. I was like, this is shit. We should all like. At this point, I was already having my doubts of like, why are you even doing this? And I tried to warn him, but he he publicly broadcasted it. But to his credit, I was erased my awareness, or I erased my awareness. Sorry, it's the mushrooms and alcohol. But she was saying that like I was some sort of child predator with Catfish's niece. I
What?
don't know. I mean, like she was. What's my point? I don't want to propagate lies, but or like yeah, I never had sex with my Catfish's niece, but if I did, she was an adult. But she was apparently trying to make it out like I'm some sort of bad guy. Conversation. I feel like Treach never had that conversation with me that he fucked up. So shout out to Ghost. But it's fine. But yeah, he was really against her when he was against her. So like to the point where I was like, calm down, calm down. But you know, he eventually did calm down. It just took a while. Ah!
Right there. Right there.
There. That's where I want it. For you.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Now, what happened with the trial with Renee and Brad? So Yaxley was directly involved with that.
Well, I did talk about this earlier, but I'll circle back to that.
Okay.
I was, as far as when the trial started, I don't know, but after okay, let me back up. Even after I streamed that whole thing, I remember Conops was going hard after Jordan. After that thing on Sunday, or like it happened on Friday, I went on AVC Saturday. They tried to call that a damage control, but I was like, my panel was open Friday. It was, and I've got a pretty open panel regardless. So anyways, moving forward, I don't know what happened before that leading up. Apparently there was Brad was already there watching, and I wasn't talking to Yaxley at that time. Like I said, I needed to get computer help from fucking Domingo, and OV was useless. So fuck you, OV. And he's like, "Oh, return it. It's new." I'm like, "That's the low IQ thing." Like, anyways, shout out to Domingo, and I said this publicly. If you listen to the stream, I was like, "Thank you, Domingo, for helping me." Anyways, I wasn't talking to Yaxley, so Yaxley went live on Malibu's, calling me out for my lack of dialogue about the situation that had happened in regards to Jordan's comment. So what's my point? Like that, you could say that like plausible deniability, like that's a LARP. But no, literally, I wasn't talking to Yaxley to the point where he called me on a Malibu stream for it. So I remember I was out getting food and I was like, I'll go live later. And honestly, it was on my mind, but I ended up going live that night because Yaxley called me out. If that makes sense. I'm just trying to, whatever. I'm trying to give you the timeline for what I know. So that was after January. Like, it was January 1st, I think. It was a horrible day. But January 1st, I think, was that stream in question. And then after that, Yaxley went live. I ended up going live about it, saying, like, look, I obviously do not agree with this type of thing, nor did I think it was a credible threat. If I did, I would have said something, but I think it was just okay. Moving forward, um, Renee that Sunday went on Tamara Wolf's and was LARPing it up with the whole disabled child LARP, and I did not appreciate that. But anyways, moving forward, I come to find out, like I wasn't even talking to you actually. Somehow things, whatever, we did make up eventually. Um, and I heard this guy was around, so I went and I jumped into I heard he was around, so I jumped into a hangout call with him, and it was not a good look because they were like, "Who the fuck stream was that anyway?" I said earlier, and I'm like, "Yeah, that was my stream." By the way, because I was kind of like the fly on the wall. And I was like about that, and I don't think that's the conversation that anyone wants to have with like a father. Like, oh, this horrible shit happened and blah blah blah. But I felt compelled to have that like tough conversation, even though it uh, was
Talking about the trial, Scotty.
no. I'm telling you, I talked to the guy Brad,
Okay.
and he was saying, "Who the fuck stream was that?" Blah blah blah. So I was like, "Look, dude, here's it is. I'm
All
that
right. All
guy."
right. Step back 1 sec. How'd you start talking to Brad?
Well, I think I told you I wasn't talking to Yaxley and Malibu, but I did find out down the line. I could go find my dates or whatever, like because I save everything.
Okay.
What the dates were, if you want to ask, but I don't. I'm not prepared to say that right now. I could probably figure it out quickly though. Anyways, moving along. Um, I kind of found out that this guy was watching, and like I told you, I've been telling her like, do not. Why are you doing this? Like things were getting really bad with like the whole like OJM situation. They were like getting families, and I think on both sides. I don't want to say I don't know point fingers, but like people's families were getting sock accounts and stuff, and I was like, this is not worth it.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to tell her, and early into things, but down the long time down the line, what happened, and I wasn't talking to Yaxley, and he even like I said, you could think I'm lying, but you could check the Malibu stream, you could still think I'm lying, and we eventually did. I found out that this guy was around. I felt I didn't need to talk to him, but I felt compelled to talk to him after what happened and just be transparent and be like open and honest with. Because if you know what I mean, if someone talked about my child that way, I would probably want to have a conversation. And not that I talked about anyone's child, but I felt that since it was on my panel or whatever, and then there's all these conspiracy theories going around. Um, so I kind of want to address it head on. And I was like, what's the best thing to do is be open and honest.
Yeah.
And I gave him the love letter one of the love letters she wrote me in her own fucking handwriting that contradicted some of the shit she was saying
But
online.
what I'm missing here, Scotty, is
So long
how
story
you
longer,
started talking
I
to
gave
Brad.
him the fucking. I told you I heard he was around,
Okay.
and I jumped into a hangout call,
A hangout call. Okay.
and they had no
Okay.
idea who I was at that point. It was the point where
Okay.
they were like, "Who the fuck was that guy's stream
So
anyway?"
how
And
did
I had
he
to
get
be
into
like,
that hangout call? How did Brad get
um,
contacted in the first place, even
"I
talk to you
don't
guys?
know." It was
Okay.
already apparently involved, and I then found out that I was part of the court case or something, or allegedly, and
Mhm.
so I was like, "All right, fucking, make me part of it. I'll show fucking all my cards. Like here's my whatever you want."
So probably you
I
actually
didn't give him
contacted him.
everything, but I cleared my. only because she was saying such horrible things. Honestly, I don't think whatever I gave them would have made a difference anyway. But regardless, I just felt that I needed to talk to that guy about the situation, like man to man. Like I might even move back to that state, and I don't want to have some weird ambiguity over my head or whatever, right? Like as a man, and you know what like. I don't need any child fucking allegations, and she was kind of going there, so I was like, let's be transparent as fuck, you know. And moving, maybe I would have done it differently. I don't really feel bad for it, but maybe I would have done it differently, if that makes sense. Or I could have probably found him without Yaxley and his help or whatever. But
Yeah.
I
So
felt
this whole
compelled
thing was
to have
just Yaxley.
that hard conversation with him about, because you know what happened, and
Yeah.
I think it was a mischaracterization of Durden's character, as far as like I don't think he meant it was an
He
incredible
didn't. He
threat,
didn't.
and he
Yeah.
was trying to, on if anything, he was trying to like clown Renee, like
He was
who the
clowning
fuck is
around.
watching your kids, like who the you
Yeah, he
know.
was clowning around.
And I've had the same. To be fair, I've had
It
these
was
same
bad taste.
fucking
For fuck's sakes, the
criticism.
guy
No,
lives
no,
clear
sorry to
across
cut you
the
off. Hold
damn
on, I'm gonna cut
globe
you off.
from her.
I
Like it
told
was
her
even gonna
privately,
happen.
publicly, to stop this shit, and you have to get bigger fish to fry, and she had to find out the hard way, you know. And